think with the type of character it was almost like, especially from playing it as an actor, it was like you were on a different plane from everyone else. You know, it was almost like there was a plot going on here, another one here. One my character was on particularly, and the rest was sort of the film's plot. And you know, I mean, that came out of the process, which I'll talk about a bit more in a minute. You know, it was interesting to play a character where, even though his function within the office was a boss, you know, looking after a certain amount of people, but obviously he was also pushing for the deadlines, pushing for this big sort of takeover and project that we're working towards. And so that influences some of the characters, and certainly influences some of the tensions within the office. You know, he comes in and often, especially when he's sort of speaking to the main girl, there's a lot of pressure he gives her. You know, he really gives her sort of a hard time. And then equally, he's very unprofessional, really. You know, there's another part where you sort of, he's saying things in an office that he shouldn't be. You know, we overhear conversations and little things that he shouldn't really be saying. And I think a lot of the time, probably like most of the characters in the film, you're never 100% sure what's going through his mind or what he's up to.
I think Saskia's relationship with the people that she works with is purely functional. She hasn't made any friendships, she hasn't made any alliances at work. And again, that's a choice completely. She's chosen for things to be that way. The only thing she has to talk to these people about, and the only thing she wants to talk to them about is work, and is things that affect them all.
Saskia comes across as not a very nice person towards Kate, but the hierarchy, I guess Kate is at the bottom. I think everyone kind of mothers her.
I think they don't understand. They think she's standoffish. They think she's a bit snooty. But again, that comes down to her control and her desire for everything to be exactly how she wants it, and her not to allow anything sort of extraneous into her daily working life. And I also think she's very intelligent, and she cares about what she does, and it's not easy. Like, you need to concentrate when you're working with, you know, £1 billion tenders. It's not the sort of thing that you can do with a bit of a hangover. So she takes it really seriously, and she's in control, and she's focused, and she doesn't need to have friendships with the people around her, or so she thinks. But obviously that leads to tension.
I just came to tell you about a meeting, seeing as none of us are on the network anymore.
The phones are still working.
Okay. There's obviously, I think there are moments where Mandy tries to reach out to her, to Saskia, whether it's with the good intention of actually wanting to befriend her, or whether it's to create a closer relationship. So within the office, you know, she has the opportunity to get one up on her, or, you know, I think it's interesting. I don't even know whether Mandy knows exactly what she wants out of the relationship with Saskia, but I think what you'll see of Mandy is definitely the sort of hard, you know, she's got a wall up.
What's happening?
I need to tell you something, and I couldn't say upstairs. You cannot pass this information on in any way, shape or form. I need you to promise me right now, Saskia.
Okay, I promise.
Like most films, you shoot things out of sequence. I remember shooting that after some of the stuff in the office, and I remember thinking, I almost wish I'd done it the other way around. Not to the point of regret, or, you know, but it's certainly after I did that scene and looked at that big long speech, it certainly gave me other ideas that I maybe could have brought in, you know, to the other scenes. In terms of relationships as well, I mean, especially again, you know, with the main character, because, you know, me and her have that strange relationship in some respects. There's sort of a love-hate, kind of a respect there. But then when they have this, they buy into this almost agreement that no one else is aware of. And that stems from that scene in the car. It stems from that long conversation. And of course, in terms of what you see on screen, he's the only one that befriends someone else. She's the only one he takes under his wing, if you like. I said, look, I need you to trust me. You need to trust me, and I need to trust you.
The car scene is the first time that Saskia is really allowed to enter a world that isn't strictly work related. It's the first time that she's ever really spoken to her boss about anything that isn't, you know, immediately to do with their job. And I think it's a surprise. It's definitely, you know, unexpected. And I think she goes along with it. I mean, Saskia's a very intelligent woman, so she doesn't hear anything without questioning it. But ultimately, what's most important to her is her survival. So I think when she finds out that there's potentially something that can affect that, it is really worrying.
Well, like I said, I didn't really know her.
And your senior position here, despite your apparent lack of experience, would lend itself to a certain amount of animosity between yourself and your work colleagues, who, at certain points, it would seem, went to some lengths to exclude you from activities up until now. You just get the notion that these are people functioning in isolation in all of the environments in which they operate, and it just adds to the slight sense of unease with the characters.
Corporate investigation is a very, very serious thing. No one must know my role here. If anybody asks, you say I'm new to the HR department.
Okay, I'll do my best.
I hope so, Saskia. For your sake.